Okay, what is polymer clay? Polymer clay is a man-made clay, comes in an infinite variety of colors, and can be mixed to make more colors. Very easy to use. It is something that a lot of people talk about their children using. And yes, kids can use it and have a great fun with it. And then it is also something that can be manipulated in such a way that artists use it, and it has become something that has now been entered into museum quality items that are shown in museums also. So it's a lot of fun for all ages to work with. The camaraderie between the people that work with it, the group of people that work in polymer clay all seem to be very supportive of each other. So you get a handful of polymer clay people together, they're all going to be helping each other, teaching us how to do new techniques, helping each other out with ideas. A lot of fun.
Hi, I'm going to show you one of the best techniques using polymer clay. It's a way of blending two or more colors together using my favorite tool, a pasta machine. When you go to the clay section of your local craft store or even online, this is what polymer clay looks like. There are many different manufacturers and types, and they all work pretty much the same way. It is a thermal set polymer, so you would be curing it at a temperature of about 265 to 270 degrees. This method of blending is called a Skinner blend, named after the computer programmer that developed it. This is to polymer clay like sliced bread is to the rest of the world. I'm going to be blending 3 colors together. One of my favorite colors, a fluorescent pink, a yellow, and a pale green. And using the pasta machine, I am folding it in half and running it through. And as the layers get thinner and thinner, you'll start to see the colors blending. It takes about 20 to 30 times through the pasta machine to fully complete that sheet, and about halfway through the process, it's going to look like so. It starts looking like a paint sampler strip from the Home Depot store. When you are totally finished, a few more times through the pasta machine, and you'll have a completed sheet, and you'll know you're done when it shades gradually from one color through. And you can end up with an infinite different color. And the Skinner blend, or this blended sheet, could then be the basis of pieces like this, where you have colors blending together. You can use it in canes or patterned logs and finished pieces for surface background.
Hi, my name is Marilyn Malcarney. I am a former art educator, and I was introduced to polymer clay probably 30 years ago when it first came onto the scene. And it was in our supply catalogs. And I thought I'd try it, and I bought some, and the kids and I started experimenting. And then I was introduced to the Southern Connecticut Polymer Clay Guild. The most amazing group of ladies with knowledge and sharing and caring. And luckily we would come together every month and then a couple times a year, and everybody would share their techniques. There's lots of films, there's lots of magazines and books and DVDs that you can go to, or you can come to a guild like this and learn from the people. Everybody shares, it's just amazing. I am not one to be reading the books and doing the DVDs. I learn from my friends, but I also experiment. So if you're an experimental artist, this is definitely a medium for you. Every time I'm working, I come up with a new idea. And as I'm working on a process, I'll come up with another one. And this has been for years and years and years, and I've not run out of ideas yet. Although you can't really see this, this is translucent. And the translucency comes from translucent clay and experimenting with the colors. And I'm not done experimenting. I still have so many things to do with it. I've also attempted to do sculptures. And again, it was experimental, and one led to another, led to another, led to another, until I did one of my daughter in a soccer game, nice and large, and it's her running with the ball, and it is her running with the ball. You can work with the colors, you can work with the textures, it's just a magical, magical clay.
Hello, I'm Sharon Mahalik. I'm president of the Southern Connecticut Polymer Clay Guild, the best guild in the world. And we just have so much great fun with this polymer clay. And we wanted to tell you a little bit about what polymer clay is. You had seen before the different varieties, different colors, and that's what blows my mind. It just comes in fabulous colors. You can do so much with it. Not only do you work with the colors, you can do other things. What I'm going to show you is how you can work with Pearl-Ex powders, which are iridescent powders, metallic looking powders, and they come in a variety of colors too. And what I had done with them, it's nice to be able to do functional things with polymer clay, not just jewelry. So I had made some switch plate covers to show you guys. And with this, it didn't really matter what the color is of the clay. It was, I used some scrap clay and it was fine. And I'll show you how I did it. I used some leaves. So I took the clay and rolled it out flat, covered the switch plates. You can use different types of switch plates. Most of them will bake fine. And so I took the clay, and then I took the leaves, and I put Pearl-Ex powder on the leaf, and put that on the clay, and I pressed that on, trying to make it get down there so you're putting the color of the Pearl-Ex and also the texture of the leaf on the clay. And then it's kind of stuck down pretty good. And then I got another color, so you can use two colors. And put that on. You can use multiple colors of Pearl-Ex powders, and you can kind of blend them in and do different things. And you can see where I've used a bunch. And then I took the clay off, took the leaf off, and here you can see where you've got the one color and you've got the two colors, and you can do multiple varieties. This is just a vague idea, quick showing you how to do it. And this is, you know, a finished product. You can just do so many different things with it. That's what blows my mind about polymer. It's just so versatile. And with these, you can use different types of leaves, different colors of clay, different colors of Pearl-Ex. Okay, great.
Okay, have fun.
Hi, my name's Carol. I have been with the Guild for just about a year. Actually, today is my 1-year anniversary. And from the moment I walked in with them, they were just, I knew I was in the right place. They embraced me, they're sharing, they're kind and compassionate, and they've become some of my dearest friends. And I've learned so many things from them. And I love the diversity of this. I get very easily bored with a substance. And this, I can do so many things, and I have yet to get bored by it. And some of the things that I have been doing, I work with molds. These are pre-bought molds. And there's molds that do everything. They can have all different kinds of textures in them, leaves. This one happens to be faces. And I love the faces on it. Right now I love like an Art Deco look to things. So what I've done is I've taken the mold and I condition the clay and I push it into the mold. And what you do is you get a piece like this. And then I have, it's Christmas time coming soon, so I'm working on some Christmas ornaments, and I've taken some other molds and some other pieces that I've been working on. And after you add them all on and stick them all together, I made this one piece. It looks very Indonesian inspired, a little bit of Art Deco, and I added some glitter and some crystals on it, and this will make a great Christmas ornament. And it's even better, it doesn't take up any space at all. Some of the other things that I like to do things that they're unexpected, and I like to do things that are a surprise. This is one of my best items that I've made. This is my candy hiding jar. So I don't know if you have an office where I always have candy somewhere, and unfortunately people always find the candy. So I made this jar, and all it is, it's a glass jar, and I covered it with the polymer clay, and it looks like a little pedestal. And I was lucky enough, I found a man that keeps me up on my little pedestal. So, and this is very easy. It's the polymer clay, but what it is, it looks like faux granite. So it looks like stone, and it's already done that way for you. You don't have to blend anything else into it. And with just a few basic tools, I used an extruder to get these on the side, and smoothed it out with some sculpting tools. And you make this great little stand that you can put other displays on as well. Some of the other things that I like to do, it's a steampunk look to it. And this is one of the pieces. I took this, it's a beautiful wooden box to begin with. And what I did is I covered it in polymer clay. And I added these on here to look like they're steam pipes. This in the center is actually real metal, and it actually spins around. And I put little metal legs on it, so it's like a mixed media piece. And what you do is you open it up inside, and it's got a little design, a little jewelry inside, and it says, "Capture Life's Moments." And this would make like a wonderful box for men that like to collect watches and have like their really good collectible watches in here. I made that for a man and for my steampunk event, and for rings and jewelry. This is another one of my steampunk pieces. This is it's an ornament that I made. And what I did is I took the clay, and there's a medium called Swelligant. And what you do is you paint the medium on there, and it's an actual metal medium. It's got actual metal pieces in it. So you paint that on top of the clay, and then you actually put something on it that patinas it right before your eyes. So it's not like a faux painted finish. It actually, so you can wash it off and get as little or as much as you like in the patina. And this is a Christmas ornament. I don't know if you can see, it's hollow in the center, so you can see all the way through the ornament. And again, this piece in the center is from a mold, and it's a mold of a compass. And then some of the other things that I've done, this is a frame. And in this frame, you can see I have molded objects. This is my creative journey totem, I call it. So it starts off with my hands, where I create things, and I want to know where I'm going on my journey and how far I can fly, and I can go to the moon. And this is, of course, glow-in-the-dark polymer clay. So, and I have some little stars on some springs here, so it's very three-dimensional. And again, all these are done with different push molds. Now, this one has push molds in it as well, but there are probably, I'd say about 12 different polymer clay techniques used for this. And in it, I have push molds for the wings, but then I also have where I did some caning and some spiral work, and then I did some faux woodwork down here where he's sitting on, and there's caning down here. This particular piece, I call him the Owl of the Woods, and I made this during last winter when we had snow after snow after snow, so I could concentrate on something green and growing. And he took me about a good 10 hours though, so he's a little more involved. But again, a lot of it's basic, and you just layer the ideas and the thoughts all together, and the sky's the limit.
So, welcome back. We're going to have a group of us here together working on polymer clay. We are the members of the Southern Connecticut Polymer Clay Group, and I just wanted to go back to the fact that you're starting out with a little block of clay. This comes from any local craft shop, and you can also buy it online. You unwrap that, and you're going to come up with some raw clay, and it just needs to be warmed up. I just wanted to say this because it's such a simple thing to work with. Anyone can do this. Grandmothers and grandkids work great together with this. So you're going to get it nice and warm. Then you can use any little tool. If you've got a round-sided glass, a pen, roll it out nice and flat. You're going to keep going from there. And now I'm going to look around and see some of the things that can be done here. And Diane, what are you doing over here?
This is one of my favorite techniques to use with polymer clay, and it is called caning or millefiori, especially if you're selling your work. I'm using the Skinner blend that I created earlier, and I'm rolling it up with very, very thin black. And in a couple of minutes, I'll be able to show you how it looks once I slice it, and you'll be able to see the magic of the caning.
Cool. We'll come back. We'll come back.
Very good.
Jerry, what are you
Yes.
doing over here?
Oh, I'm finishing my bracelet. I just started doing
Oh,
it
neat.
like this. And it's so simple. All you have to do is take a piece of this mental leaf, you can get it anywhere, little metal leaf, and take your clay, take your roller, and then roll it hard.
So wait, you're starting with raw clay. right
Yeah,
out of the package that
right
we
out of the
softened up.
clay, yeah.
And then you're
That's
putting
good.
this metal
Metal
leaf
right
on
on
it.
top, and then you just keep rolling it, like you said, with anything that you have handy. Keep pushing it, and then all of a sudden, you'll see the colors come out, and you see what it looks
Oh,
like.
cool, that is
And it's so
beautiful.
simple.
And
And
then-
then all you buy is a little bracelet anywhere in your craft store. You take it, and then you're gonna push it on there, like that.
Oh, so you're using the bracelet as
I'm
a
using the
cutter.
bracelet to cut it.
Cool.
As simple as that. And then you take it, you turn it around, put it in, and you're done. And then you bake it.
And then you have wonderful
And
adornment.
I
Oh, it's a
made-
watch
I
band.
made it with a watch band,
Oh,
the
cool.
same thing.
Oh, wow.
All you have to do is break it in half and put your little watch inside, and you're all done.
Now that is color coordinated.
Such
That
fun.
is fabulous. Thank you. And Karen, what have you got going?
I have taken sheets of clay and cut circles out of them with cookie cutters
Wait,
and
we gotta
baked
see this
them.
wonderfulness.
And then you can draw on them with markers, micron markers, Sharpie markers, or colored pencils. And you just color in. This is called Zentangle. It's very relaxing usually. And
Usually.
these are going to be earrings. It's fun. It's simple.
Oh, great. So the black is what you've drawn on there like a
Yes.
Zentangle?
Yes, these
On
are
baked-
all hand, on baked,
on the cured
drawn on
clay.
baked cured clay.
Okay.
And then you draw on the black and you bake it, and then you draw on the color and you bake it, and then you're done.
Then you just put an earring finding on it. You've got
Earring
personalized,
findings,
personal
yeah.
colored earrings.
Excellent,
Fabulous.
Beautiful.
great.
Okay. And are you working on anything at the moment, or you are in the
I'm
middle
just
of many things?
I'm in the middle of many things. I'm conditioning some clay. I'm going to have different layers of different colors. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make what we call mokamigani, where we'll put layers of different colors at different thicknesses. I'll press stuff on it to make it like little pokey things, and I'll slice it and it'll come up with all kinds of different variations of movement in it. So different colors will combine differently, but I don't have anything with me now. so
At the moment, that you're
At the
that
moment.
far into the process.
Yes.
One of the best things, I mean, speak up for everyone else. What's the best thing about this? For me, it's just so easy to work with. Like I said, you don't need special tools at all. A cutting knife, these are nice sharp blades that we use, but you can really use a kitchen knife that's fairly sharp and go from there. Anything to roll with.
And you don't have to worry about any mistakes.
Right,
You
right.
don't like it, you roll it up and start
There-
over
There's
again.
no
It's big
waste,
deal.
because if you manage to come up with some waste, it's not big enough really to do anything. I made this pattern earlier, and that piece left over I can't do anything with. You can put that together, roll it up, now it's the center for a bead. So you're really not having any waste whatsoever. So, are you close enough to cutting?
I'm almost close enough to cutting.
Okay.
This
Cool.
was the size of the finished cane, and I know it's like magic.
I know, I can't wait, I can't wait. It is every time I see it happen.
And I am now
It always
reducing it
happens.
down because there's a plastic quality to this material. You can get this
Nothing like making you work under
nice,
pressure.
I know, nice and thin. And I'm going to cut this now, and you can take a look.
Oh, cool.
And that design,
Wow.
So the,
I
so the
know.
design stays exactly the same, you can just make it smaller or
Mhm.
whatever
Any
size you
size.
want it
That's
to be. Way cool.
and you know what, in another minute or so, I'll reduce it down as far as I possibly can and still see that design.
Keep
That's
going.
cool, we'll get pictures, definitely.
Wow.
And again, this is the Southern Connecticut Polymer Clay Guild. We meet once a month in East Haven. You are more than welcome to come down anytime. It's usually the third Saturday of the month. We do have a website, Southern Connecticut Polymer Clay Guild. Please come visit us. Let us know. We'd love to have you come and see what's going on here. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so we have given you a lot of different information about polymer clay, and we wanted to sort of wrap it up for you. So we have the founding president on one hand and the present president on the other hand. So we're going to give you a little bit. And Diane was talking about when it started, when you started it.
Sharon and I started the Guild way back in '97. I had been working as an artist for a couple of years on my own, and I was lonely. And we found each other on a news group on the internet, and we put out an invitation and talked to people, and they showed up. It was absolutely fantastic. And that's one of the great things that goes along with polymer clay. You can work with it as an individual, but when you get together with a group of people who speak the same language, it really helps to raise your artistic vision and spur your creativity on.
Yeah, so many of the members, they go to the meetings and they say, oh, my head hurts. He says, there's so many things. I want to go home and just do all these things in clay, you know. It just gets your creative juices going. It's just a lot of fun. When we have our meetings, what we do is we start with our meetings. We meet on the third Saturday, generally the third Saturday of every month in East Haven. And the way the meetings start, we start with a demo given by one of our guild members. We talk about business and talk about different things going on, different projects, and we finish up with a show and tell. And one of the things that's great about the show and tell is that we're able to do show and help if people need help with things, and it's a lot of sharing. You know, if you have a problem, you can go to people. There's always some input, and it's a great group. We have a lot of fun.
It's a wealth of information
Yes.
between people. If something's not working right for one person, with all these people that we can share it between it, you always get help, definitely.
And we are definitely, just jumping in here, we are open to crafters and polymer clay experience of any level. So even if you've never touched this stuff before, even if you just walked by the clay aisle, that counts. Come on in and join us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And we're always learning. You might think that somebody's been doing it for 20 years and that doesn't matter, because there's still stuff to learn, because it's such a wonderful medium that just keeps expanding.
Final smile?
So that's fun.
Thank you. We hope to see you.
Yes.